Okay guys, now I've decided I'm going to give you a break from touchdown rays for a little bit, because I know that my last few vids have been on touchdown rays and I've been talking about it and doing it way too much. Today I'm going to do a scoot tutorial. I'm going to re-update it with some new advice and some new knowledge that I've gained from doing it better over the last few months. So let's begin. If you've never done scoot before, I recommend two things. Now, normally what people tend to do is when they combo it, they're going to do a hook kick and drop down. Now, we are not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to step forward into it. So if you're a left-sided tricker like me, you're going to take your right foot, you're going to take a few steps forward, 1, 2, 3, and then step out a little bit to your right with your right foot. Not too far, you don't want to be like this. That'll make it really hard to get to the position you want to be when you're planting this hand down. So don't make it too wide. Also don't make it too close, because when you go to leap forward and place your hand, you'll be off balance and it's really awkward. I'll demonstrate the too wide issue. You see I over-rotated where my foot is. Should be facing this way. Just place your right foot out about just a little bit, 1.5 shoulder width apart from your left foot, and you're going to sink down and leap out and place this left hand out as far as you're comfortable with. Example, and do it facing this way. Here is a scoop. I'm kind of making a tutorial right now. I'm not really comfortable teaching. Take my jumper off easier because the flipping sleeves of my jumper get in the way. So, where was I? Yes. So, when you get down to the floor in this little tripod position, what you're going to want to do is pretend that you're kind of making an equilateral triangle with your legs and plant hand. But by the time your plant hand hits the floor and you're throwing your arm far enough to the side to make some good distance, your legs should really be off the ground. When you do your scoot, you want to do it really long, and that way it gets the most power. Because if I do a tiny scoot like this, where I'm like this, A, I can't even flip and swing it, and B, there's literally no power. Whereas if I make my scoot nice and long like this, there's a lot more power involved, especially with a swing. In physics, this is the law of turning force. So the further away something is, the greater effect it has on a force. And this applies with tricking too. A lot of physics applies with tricking, like inertia and things like that. But with scoot, what you want to do is make it long as possible. So the turning force then makes that swing much stronger when it's extended and out than when it's cramped up and bent. And that's why every setup you do, when it has a swing in it, you never swing with your leg bent. You swing it with your leg straight through. So we don't want any of this. Also, because it's awkward, we want this. Another thing you're going to want to do with your scoot is really ensure that your hips really make a massive arc. You really want to emphasize this position here. I'll show you when I freeze me doing my scoot now. You'll see that I make this really huge arc with my body. And what that's doing is getting your hips above your head. And this means that you're flipping your scoot correctly. And this also makes swinging and popping and punching a lot easier out of your scoot. So I'll show a couple of examples where I'm not using my hips too much, and then I'll show examples when I'm really emphasizing that massive arc I'm trying to make with my body and my hips. The arc stems from your hips. So if you're not really pushing your hips up, this arc shape isn't going to be as defined. It'll be a bit less and less, and if you're not using your hips at all, there shouldn't be any arc at all really, or very little. So I'm not going to use my hips here. You'll see it kind of under-rotated a little bit. My foot is kind of kind of diagonal. It needs to be straight. So when I swing, I'm swinging up and not around awkwardly in this weird, wacky direction, momentum sending me from being under rotated. So instead, we're going to really throw this arm out and really widen up and push our hips, and this is what your scoop will look like. I should have swung there. Try and demonstrate scoop, punch, backside 9 for you. Might be very unclean though, I've never done scoop, punch, backside 9, so I guess we'll find out what happens. So what I'm doing is stepping forward, launching my hand out, hips. You know what, for the first one, that was alright, but I'm going to redo it so I get it a little cleaner. Once more. And if you're trying to swing it, I really emphasise when you come off the ground, you really push as hard as you can. You don't want to leave it to the last second and still have your hand on the ground, because what's going to happen is when you do your scoop, you're going to come here and you're going to have this really bent low chest position, and you're not going to be able to swing from this. You're going to be like kneeing yourself in the teeth. Think about that. So what you want to do is you really want to come and push. But obviously do that a bit faster with your momentum step, and it should look something like this. And last thing that we want is when you come out your scoot, you want your head just a little bit forward, so that when you come out and you push up, you're not going to lean back. You're going to be sent straight up instead. And that is my scoot tutorial. I hope you guys learned something. I'm sorry that the tricks that I performed out of it weren't that great. I have actually only just come out and done this, so I'm not warm. I haven't really done much, but I hope you guys learned something. So get out there drilling your scoots and send me your clips at ZX Tricking, doing stuff out of scoot, or if you need help learning tricks, just go for it, just DM me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.